graveyard. The video came out, NCBB sent me the video. I saw the video, and she was there naked, man. They hitting on her, now.
For most people, the holidays have been a time for family to come together, while for others, it's been a time to say goodbye to their loved ones. And the latter has been exactly the case with Shanquella Robinson's family, as they'd had to deal with one of the worst things that could happen to anyone. But even amid their troubles, they've made it a top priority to keep the public updated about Shanquella's case. And in this light was exactly how her father went online to reveal some of the details about the case that had been kept from the general population. And I have to say, even if you already know some of the details of the case before, the news from her dad basically established that it was just the tip of the iceberg. So stay tuned till the end of the video for the full story.
I just started crying out there at the funeral home because I was finding a place where I was going to bury her at so I could close the grave. And I told him, man, just send it. Send it viral, man, because people need to see this. They said it was alcohol poisoning, which I knew it wasn't no alcohol poisoning, man.
In general, it goes without saying that a parent burying their kid is probably one of the worst things that could ever happen to anyone. And in this case, the damage and pain of the Robinson family wasn't only limited to them having to bury their own kid, but that they also had to watch people lie about what killed her. That seems to be exactly what prompted the deceased dad, Bernard, to speak up on the case. While speaking about the terrible ordeal with his daughter, he talked about how God is the only one that helped him to the point he currently is at, and how he also banks on that help to get justice for his daughter.
I just want justice for my daughter, man. God gonna fight my battles for me. He been doing it ever since. I always put my cares in his hands.
Speaking about justice, Robinson's father also talked about how he was initially deceived into thinking his daughter had been killed from alcohol poisoning. However, according to Bernard, he was sure within himself that his daughter didn't die from alcohol poisoning, but rather she had been murdered. The man also stated that that was the very reason he had the video of his daughter released, so the entire world could see the injustice that was done to his family.
I told him to go ahead and send it. Even though she was there naked, they were hitting on her, couldn't be there to do nothing. And I know they took over there, man. It wasn't nothing premeditated.
However, even with all of this, there were some particular details Robinson's father spoke on that got people just as emotional as he was. While talking about the terrible fate that recently met his daughter, he revealed that even the parents of the people that might have had a hand in his daughter's demise had reached out to him, telling him they are sorry about his daughter's death, when in fact, they are perfectly fine and walking around. But according to him, all of that basically changes nothing about his situation. If anything, it seems it might even be making him angrier because of the pain he will have to endure for the rest of his life. A pain that he repeatedly spoke about, saying that he cried every day at the realization that he and all the other members of the family will never hear her voice again.
The struggle. I cry every day. Not knowing that I can't hear a voice. Only thing I can look at videos.
While you could tell from the video that it was pretty difficult for him to talk about his emotions and just how badly the whole thing had affected him, he mentioned that one of the hardest things he had to do was tell Robinson's mother twice. You see, at first, they were told the death was caused by alcohol, according to him, but later they revealed it was actually trauma. Now, having to recount the whole thing and explain to Robinson's mother that she was brutally attacked was more than difficult for him. Per the original story, authorities found Robinson dead in the living room of her vacation rental in San Jose del Cabo on October 29, according to an autopsy report, but initial local police reports offer different timelines on what happened that day. A guest allegedly alerted medical staff at the resort where Robinson was staying that the victim had drunk a lot of alcohol around 2 p.m. that day, according to a local police report obtained by ABC News. A doctor advised that Robinson be transferred to a hospital due to dehydration, but none of her friends did so. She later died of cardiac arrest, the police report says. The official autopsy report, however, says that medical officials came to see her before 3 p.m., after which she was rapidly declared dead from sustaining an injury to her spinal cord and neck. Mexican prosecutors have labeled her death as a direct attack, not an accident. On the day of her passing, Robinson's friends initially told her parents that their daughter died from alcohol poisoning. Robinson's mother, Salamandra, later told Good Morning America that the day before the autopsy report was released, Robinson's friends went over to her house and each told her a different description of what happened in Mexico. She said she did not believe their stories. Robinson's family called for authorities to take a deeper look at the case and insisted that the 25-year-old's death was not from alcohol poisoning, especially after the video of what her family believes is Robinson's surface. It's not clear when the video was taken, but Robinson can be seen being beaten as a male voice in the background says, "Can you at least fight back?" The outcry of Robinson's family garnered national attention, and shortly after, the FBI then announced that they had opened an investigation into the case. Nearly a month after Robinson's death, the FBI Charlotte field office opened an investigation as prosecutors attempted to extradite the suspect. The FBI Charlotte field office has opened an investigation in the death of Charlotte resident Shanquella Robinson in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, on or about October 29, 2022. Due to the ongoing investigation, we have no further comment, a spokesperson revealed into the Charlotte Observer. Mexican authorities are investigating the case as femicide, which is defined as the homicide of a woman because of her gender. Mexico has seen a significant rise in femicides in recent years, increasing from 427 victims in 2015 to 1,004 in 2021, per Vision of Humanity. Now, the Mexican prosecutors have filed charges against a suspect in the death of Shanquella Robinson. And although Mexican authorities have not publicly named the American woman they are seeking to extradite, but have confirmed it is one of her friends. The FBI is also involved in the ongoing investigation. I feel so good. That's a good feeling. That's what we have been waiting for someone to finally be held accountable and arrested, Salamander Robinson, Robinson's mother, told ABC News when she found out an arrest warrant had been issued. "I just can't wait for justice to be served." In addition to revealing that they had made an arrest, the Mexican authorities have also requested that the American government extradite one of its citizens to face charges in the mysterious death. And while there is no requirement under international law to comply with extradition requests, the US and Mexico have an established, decades-old extradition treaty both countries generally comply with. Grant Will, an attorney for the Arizona criminal defense firm Rawls & Will, said the U.S. may not have much choice in whether to extradite the suspect assuming Mexican authorities provide probable cause. The U.S. State Department did not provide a comment in response to Insider's query about Mexico's extradition request. Lawyers from Rawls & Will, which regularly handles cross-border cases involving extraditions, told Insider that very few U.S. to Mexico extraditions occur involving American citizens, and their firm has only ever handled one such case. "It's obviously a dramatic step," Perry told Insider. American authorities are also involved in investigating Robinson's death and could attempt to bring charges of their own if any crimes related to the incident occurred on American soil. An FBI spokesperson previously told Insider the Bureau's field office in Charlotte, North Carolina, had opened an investigation into the death of Robinson, who was a Charlotte resident. Robinson's family, however, said during a December press conference that they wished to see their daughter's friends prosecuted in Mexico and sentenced to prison time there. And while many countries refuse to extradite their own citizens to face charges in foreign countries, according to Perry, the U.S. is not one of them. Right now, we're not sure where things will land, and if or not the identity of the person in custody will be revealed. But if the public could help get things to this point, then there's probably a chance the extradition could still happen out of respect for Robinson's family. Anyway, the events surrounding her death have been a major topic of conversation on social media for a while now, and while most of the focus has been on getting justice for the family, the events have taught others a valuable lesson. Like in the case of this user who wrote, "If this year ain't taught me nothing, it taught me a lot about friendships, from the Shanquella Robinson case, to the stories on TikTok, down to the friendships I've had to cut ties with this year. It was a big eye-opener for me. It's never again for a lot of shit. Never again." Well, considering the death was because of one of her friends, suffice it to say this might be a valuable lesson, but we do hope her family is able to find peace. That's it for this video. Goodbye.